What is going on, everybody? This is the Realist back with a brand new movie review. And today's review is going to be focused on a independent movie named Buffalo66. It starts off as this guy who was recently released from prison, and he kidnaps this girl that he catches at a dance shop, and he convinces her to say that she's his wife, as he's been away from prison for a long time, but his family doesn't know about it. They don't have no type of clue about it. And in my opinion, the movie itself was pretty good, and I found out some behind the scenes drama that took place and everything. But no more talking, let's get straight to the review. So the movie starts off with a photo of the main character, whose name is Billy Brown. It shows a photo of him when he was younger, and then it immediately just goes into prison shots, just different prison shots that the main character has been in for a long time. And then the time has come, and the main character is released from prison. And at first, it's horrible for him. It's horrible so bad to the point that he wants to go back inside the prison just to use the bathroom. And the guard himself, he was like, I can't do that. And if you're somebody that just gets out of prison, but you want to go back to prison, you know something is wrong. Like, you know something is really wrong at that point. So then he catches a bus to Buffalo, and he has to use the bathroom really bad. And he tries to go to the bathroom at the bus shop. It's closed. He then finds a dance shop to use the bathroom. And then when he uses the bathroom, there's a guy who has makeup on already, like using one of the porta potties. And then he starts to stare at the main character. And this is when I realized that the main character is crazy as ever. Because if you see the movie poster of it, you know this person looks crazy. He looks like the type of character that if you just say the wrong thing to him, he will just shoot you and put you on a t-shirt just like that. And then the main character is like, what you looking at? Then the guy that has makeup on, he says nothing. And I think he says something, but then he says something that the main character didn't like. And then the main character starts dropping all types of just homophobic slurs, I might add. Homophobic slurs, threatening him to kill him, such and such. And then the second main character, whose name is Layla, she walks by and she says, watch your mouth. And then he cusses her out, and then he asks her for a coin to call his parents. And he talks to his mom, and you can tell that there's some tension between him and his family. And he asks her another favor, and then he immediately kidnaps her and threatens to kill her if she don't shut up. So then he takes her to her car, and he forces her to drive. But before he forces her to drive, he makes her clean out the windows because the windows were dirty and everything. And he then continues to berate her, threatening her to kill her and everything, etc. And then while they're driving, he tells her to stop and everything, and he is finally able to use the bathroom, letting go of the tension and all that kind of stuff. So then while they're driving, they're talking, they're starting to like know each other more. And then he tells her to call herself Wendy Bossum because he doesn't like the girl's name, Layla. And he was like, if you mess this up for me, I will kill you right then and there. And then he was like, if you mess up, he's never gonna talk to her again, etc. And then they make it to Billy's house, and his father gives him the cold shoulder like he doesn't care. His mom, on the other hand, she's happy to see Billy, but at the same time, she is a huge Buffalo fan for the NFL, I assume. And they start talking, and you can tell that it's awkwardness. There's like really awkward during the table scene. What I really liked about this movie as well was the cinematography and how the movie was edited, because at the table scene, they changed the scene cut like 3 different times, like 5 seconds, which I thought was interesting. And whenever there was a flashback, the video pop up to get larger, and then the previous video would go into black. And this is where we saw that Billy came from a horrible family. Like, he almost got put on his shirt when he was younger because of his mom, because he is allergic to chocolate. And in the flashback, we see that Billy was eating some chocolate and his face swelled up like a freaking pig. And then his mom didn't do nothing about it. Then another flashback, we see that his father, I don't know if he killed the dog or not, but he most likely got rid of the dog because Billy had a pet that he really loved. And then his father was like, "What did I tell you about this pet?" And then Billy was like, "No, don't do this, no." And we can see that his family is very dysfunctional, as the main reason why the mom is a huge Buffalo fan was because the Buffaloes were a good football team, but she went to every single Buffaloes game until the one that focused on the championship. And because of that, the Buffaloes lost, and that was the day that she had Billy. And because of that, she blames Billy for the Buffaloes being horrible, as they haven't won no type of championship for over 30 years. And then we get another flashback, and it was Billy a couple of years before he went to prison, making a bet about placing $10,000 on the Buffalo to win, I assume, the championship, the Super Bowl. But that plan backfires horribly, as not only did the Buffalo lose. I apologize for the inconvenience. So anyways, as I was saying, the game ends horribly for Billy, as not only did the Buffalo Bills lose the championship game, but Billy never had the money. So then we go to another scene, and Billy is talking to the Don, who I assume. And basically the Don, he wants to put Billy on the newspaper, because not only did the Buffaloes lose, he didn't have the money. So then he forces Billy to do this deal, because one of his high associates was arrested and is locked up. And then he tells Billy that he's going to take the charge that the person was accused of. And if he doesn't, he is basically going to put Billy's family, he's going to turn them into an extension, like wipe out their entire history. And Billy is forced to do this, and what happens is that Billy gets sentenced to 5 years in prison without the possibility of parole. And then while in prison, he gets his friend Goon to help him send out letters to his family, making it seem like he is still out and everything. And Goon is an idiot, but he is somehow able to get the job done. So then, after that horrible history, just as we see why Billy is the way he is, Billy and Layla leave, and then Billy berates Layla for all the lies that she has told Billy's family about working for the CIA, being pregnant, etc. But also, Billy himself is a pathological liar, as he has lied numerous times on many different things that has caused a ruckus. I don't know how to put it into words, but he's a pathological liar, a big liar. So then we go to the bowling alley where Billy used to bowl a lot and where he was really good at. And then he goes to his old locker room and he finds all of his stuff that he had left before he went away. And Billy is a good bowler. He still has it after like 5 years away. Layla tries to bowl and she's good as well. And then also he goes back to his locker and he finds a mini gun. Because after what happened to Billy, of him losing that bet, $10,000, going to prison for 5 years, Billy's plan is that he wants to put the kicker that cost the championship goal onto a huge Cotton Deluxe t-shirt, Scott Woods. And that's his mission. He is going to kill Scott Woods because of Scott Woods, all this bad stuff happened to him. They go to Denny's, Billy and Layla does, and then while they're about to get their drinks, the real Wendy Bossum appears, and she remembers Billy from a long time ago, and it's kind of embarrassing, I might add, as Billy looks really embarrassed. And then him and Layla have an argument. He then tells Layla to go F off. He tries to use the bathroom at another gas stop, but then he goes back to the Dean's to cry in the bathroom because he realizes that it's just so much has went wrong in his life that he doesn't know what to do. He apologizes to Layla, and they check into a hotel room. He then takes a bath, but then Layla, she tries to get in the bath at first, but then Billy wouldn't let her. And then as time goes on, she's able to get into the bath, and they're able to talk and all that type of stuff. And Billy realizes that he has to wait until like 2 o'clock in the morning to meet Scott Woods, because Scott Woods now has his own strip club and everything. He then calls Goon to talk and everything. He calls him twice actually. The first time he just berates Goon really bad, calls him all types of like disrespectful slurs. But then he calls him again sometime later and apologizes, making it seem like he's about to kill Scott Woods and then possibly kill himself, because he says that he can have all of his things in the locker room. And then Billy and Layla, they go to sleep. They finally make out after all this time. Then it's 2 o'clock. Billy tries to leave without notifying Layla. Layla catches him. He promises to return. And then Billy is able to go inside the strip club after making a phone call that says that Scott Woods is there. So then Billy walks into the strip club. He sees Scott Woods. He pulls out his minigun, and then he proceeds to shoot Scott Woods in the head. And then he decides to take himself out the game because he realizes, I don't even know if Buffalo has the death penalty. Maybe not. He realizes that he's going back to prison, and he decides he's not going back to prison. He decides to take himself out the game, and then it shows a flash. I assume at first was like a flash forward, like a couple of months, and it's Billy. He's dead. He's in the grave. His family has visited him. His father doesn't really care. His mom is still a Buffalo's fan, and it seems like they don't care. And I guess this is what Billy imagined would happen if he decided to like pull this off. But then after serious thinking, he doesn't do it. He didn't even pull his gun out. Scott Woods offered him a drink, but then Billy just goes away. He gets out of the club, and then he goes to a store to get hot chocolate for Layla and a drink for himself. And then he returns back to the hotel room with Layla, and the movie ends. And I thought the movie itself was pretty cool. I thought it was sad at the same time, because we see on how someone can be treated and how it could affect them mentally as time goes on in their life. What we saw with Billy is that he was raised in a horrible household with both of his parents neglecting him in some way. And if I were to rate this movie out of 10, I would probably rate this movie like a good 8 out of 10, because it was cool. And that's all I got to say about it. That is it. That is the end of this review. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and comment. And